Unlock Exotic Adventures Expedition Challenger. This is a recent game in the Unlock system. I played games in the system in the past and I enjoyed the system very much. It is one of these game systems that simulate escape rooms, so you don't have to go to one. All that you have here, as long as you also have a room around you, that's all that you need to play the game. After all, an escape room is a sequence of puzzles that you have to solve within a limited amount of time, and so you have them here. You can simulate your own lock room. I said you don't need anything else. You do need a phone though, because there is a free app that you need to download that acts as the timer. You have an hour to solve the mystery, and also it gives you, it can give you clues, and it gives you the solution. There are cases where you find the solution of a puzzle is a code, then you input the code and you're told where to go next. Because of the nature of this kind of games, when I review one, it's kind of tricky for me, and like I did in the past, I want to do a spoiler-free review, so I try to give you a sense of how it plays, what to expect, whether it is or not for you, without telling you anything about the puzzles and the mysteries. Just to tell you about the structure though, again, totally spoiler free, the game is pretty much this deck of cards. The top card and the top couple of cards are the tutorial. Pretty much you download the app, launch the app, flip this first card, and do what it says and follow instructions, and sometimes the instruction will tell you do this, pick up that card, and some of the times, well, it's more mysterious, you have to figure it out. And part of that is precisely, well, the mystery of the puzzle. You have to figure out where to go next and what to do next. What you find after that is a deck of numbered cards, and this is the main game. And so basically, when you solve a mystery, a puzzle, either because the solution of the puzzle is a number, or you solve a puzzle, you input the solution and the app tells you a number, then you will be told where to go next. Maybe we're working on card 27, of course, on what you find on the other side that I'm not showing you, and we find out that the solution to that puzzle is 89. Then we flip to the cards and we go to 89. And maybe we're then instructed to look at 86, 57, 93, then we put them face up on the table and we work on those. It's vague, but that is what it is, otherwise I'll give you spoilers. What I'm going to tell you in this review is about the structure of the adventure and how hard you may expect things to be, so no spoilers about the content pretty much. For content, I'm going to tell you what you probably can already figure out, you can already figure out from the box. There are people and there are dinosaurs. And also, Expedition Challenger is the subtitle. Those among us that love Conan Doyle, such as myself, have probably spotted the reference there to Conan Doyle's Professor Challenger. So what you have here is you're going to this mysterious place which is full of dinosaurs, and you're there to rescue people that got lost there. I hope that wasn't that big of a spoiler. About the structure, I don't know if it's going to be a little bit of a spoiler because it is different from previous games that they played in the Unlock system, in which the entire adventure, the entire puzzle was an hour. We launched the app. The timer started clicking. We felt that we had an hour, 59 minutes, 58, and so on and so forth. And 20 minutes later, we were there crying, grueling, and suffering immensely around the same 4, 5, 6 cards. And we still had this huge deck of cards. So like, there's no flipping way we're gonna make it through this. We stumble upon a major wall or a series of walls, or a wall within a wall wrapped in an enigma, wrapped into a sadistic set of traps at the beginning. We found, well, the box told me this was a difficult one, but basically the first couple of puzzles that are representing the first couple of cards, we found them absolutely impossible. We gave up. We look for the solution from the app, taking all the penalties that come from that, Even after we had the solution, we had no idea how it worked. Even knowing the solution, we tried to retro-engineer how you get there, reverse engineer. We have no idea. Even after knowing the solution, we don't know how those initial puzzles work. And so we're pretty down because we're like, whoa, this is all, the game is all gonna be this hard. What is the point in just struggling 20 minutes, reading an answer, not understanding it, struggle 20 more minutes, don't understand it, so on and so forth. And that's when the game changed. And this is when I hope I don't give you too much of a spoiler. Again, thematically, we know it's about you need to go and rescue these people that were studying dinosaurs and got lost in the valley. The time forgot, but the dinosaurs didn't. So the initial set of puzzles, which is awfully hard, it's about before the journey starts. And that takes an hour. That is covered by that clock that goes down. Once we went past that, then we basically arrived to the place where we are, to the mysterious valley, the mysterious land, island. It's unclear what it is, actually, come to think of it. When you go to the Valley of the Dinosaurs, the clock stops ticking. And that's the first time I see it in an unlocked game. In all my previous games, it was an hour of real time, done. And then I actually started entering what I could call campaign time, or turn time, or game time. It's the same type of structure that you have in other games that are not in real time. So what happens is that those people that you're looking for, they are slowly dying of exposure. You have a certain number of in-game days to solve, to find them. And pretty much the screen will show you a little area in which you are and tell you to explore this area, look at cars 13, 29, 44. And then you decide where to go, and basically the app will highlight another rectangle showing another area and then other cards there. So basically you have, I could say, an operational map showing you the valley as you discover it, and then a series of tactical zoom-ins represented by the cards that show you those areas more in detail. That structure reminded me much more of Time Stories than of previous unlock games. And again, that is in-game time, because what happens is that your countdown clock is not based on actual time that is passing here in our world, but how many places you travel. After you travel on the operational map for a number of places, you're told that a day has passed, and that some of those people that were dying are feeling worse and worse, and then after a while, if you don't rescue them, some will die, and at the end your performance will be scored on how many people you rescue before they die. But again, to me, that is the switch, and I hope it wasn't too much of a spoiler. Only the prologue of the game is in real time, and the rest of the game is in basically turn-based time. So that was new, and in a sense, had I but known that, it would be better for everybody. Also because people were like, okay, only about an hour before I had to go home. Also, that's perfect. An unlocked game lasts exactly an hour. Cannot possibly last more than an hour, because that was my experience with other games. 2.5 hours later, people were like, yeah, I really need to go home, but oh gosh, I guess it was. People had mixed reactions, both because, well, it lasted much longer than anybody expected, and because, and here's the other thing I want to address, this game is terribly hard. The initial part, the prologue in real time, is impossible. I don't know what kind of mind, what kind of brain you need to have. We found it impossible. The difficulty, counterintuitiveness, again, we still don't know what happened even after we read the solution. The rest of Adventure is only very challenging. The rest of Adventure is still really challenging. This is by far the hardest unlock game. You really need to have people that love puzzles. But then again, the second part, the Adventure, is hard and challenging puzzles, but I would say fair puzzles. In retrospect, like, oh yeah, I guess we overlooked that. Oh, we could have done that. How could we miss that? How could we miss that? Etc. They're tough, but fair, but doable, but reasonable puzzles, as opposed to like, what the heck is going on? They really encourage you to do lateral thinking, to think counterintuitively, to look at things from different perspectives. And some of those are so counterintuitive that I would say to solve them, you need to do the kind of thing that no reasonable, sober player would do. The worst case is, basically, this is the first game they ever played in which you may need to have a designated drinker. Just with somebody who is not thinking rationally, who is not thinking linearly at all. We were lucky enough to have that designated drinker. I cannot tell you who the person was, but let's say there were cases where the designated drinker was like, whoa, was blurring a little bit. Oh, we could do this and that, really failing to explain what he meant. And people were like, you make no sense. The player grabs the phone, does it, boom. That was the solution. You need to have that kind of like weird way of thinking. Drink responsibly, but I swear, it's weird. It's the first game in which I think you need to have somebody who has drunk a little bit, or in any case that is able, maybe through Zen, meditation, whatever, to reach unusual states of consciousness, to see things that make no sense. But in a sense, it's doable, it's possible. It is just that some of these puzzles are so hard that, again, no one in the right mind would be able to solve them. Designated drinker or Zen philosopher may solve it. So Unlock, the theme is exciting, is adventurous, but of course the mechanics are not about that. And maybe, who knows, hypothetically, maybe you'll get attacked by dinosaurs here and there, but even then, maybe the phone gets stuck with no indication of how to progress, and so it's not the excitement, the adrenaline, or the running from the dinosaurs. Is about looking at your clues and figure out ways of unlocking the phone, which is in game terms means that you were able to defeat the dinosaurs or to run from them. So the theme is adventures, but ultimately it is a cerebral exercise, a grueling, painful, challenging exercise. You're not gonna have the adrenaline boost of, of an adventure story, but you can definitely have the considerable adrenaline boost from those ha-ha moments that you have when you solve a really hard puzzle. So Unlock Exotic Adventures Expedition Challenger. I tried other games in the system before, and I tried some that were fairly hard. This is off the charts. It's a whole different level. It's not like, well, this is harder than the other ones. It's just another dimension. It's so difficult and counterintuitive that I found it's almost like its own thing. I don't really know how to put it on a scale with the other ones. So I'm recommending it only to the most hardcore puzzle enthusiasts. This is not for casual players, but for people that really love a really tough challenge that will leave your brain hurting and crying at the end, but somehow hurting and crying in a way that, like a really intense CrossFit session maybe you're still somehow satisfied. It's tough, it's really tough. You may even need a designated drinker. So Unlock Exotic Adventures Expedition Challengers. Not for everybody, but I think it could be a really good challenge for really hardcore puzzle solvers.